Hi, yogis. Welcome to Soaring Sunday. I hope this start of your week finds you well, and I'm hoping to offer you a little bit of an introduction to yoga and to creating an environment to lead your week to some Zen and some awareness. So let's get started. We will start in child's pose. I will walk you through a 45-minute flow where I will speak to you about the pillars of power yoga. We will take a gentle approach to it and ease into it, and I will dissect each pose, talking about alignment, so I can help support you and guide you through your practice. Yoga is really about spending time on your mat with your mind and your body and your breath, and finding that intertwining connection between all three of those units. So let's get started. We're going to start in child's pose. You may wish to bring some pillows with you or a yoga block and some yoga mats. One will do, but I will demonstrate on two so you can see the different alignments from different areas. So we're going to start with child's pose. Come onto your knees. Bring your knees wide on your mat, and then lay your torso down. I'm just going to scooch back so you have a better view of my postures. So set yourself up on your mat. Knees wide, big toes kissing at the back, and then lay your torso down onto the earth. And if that's not accessible, you can grab a pillow and bring it up underneath your chest to help support. I invite you while you're down in your child's pose to close your eyes. And in power yoga, we use what's called Ujjayi breath, where we start to deepen our inhales and create an audible sound with our exhales. This sound creates an oceanic sound. So we breathe in through our nose and out through the back of our throat. And see if you can pay attention to this breath. And then see if you can bring awareness to your fingers on your mat. And with your eyes closed, continue with deep breaths. And with every exhale, see if you can lighten up on your thoughts, create space. Bring your attention back to that audible sound of your breath. Ujjayi. In through your nose, out through the back of your throat. See if you can walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. Stack your left hand on top of your right. Feel that stretch through your left side body. Plug your left hip back. Reach your fingertips forward. Breathe in. And then on your exhale, sink what you can. And let your forehead soften. Walk back through center. Walk your hands to the left side of your mat. Interlace your right hand on top of your left and pull your left hand forward, creating a side body stretch. Plug your right hip down to the earth in your heels. Breathe in deep. Let it out, lips sealed. And let everything soften just for a moment. Back through center and do that again. Breathe and stretch your spine straight. Exhale, soften everything. This breath and body control is what we call yoga. Syncing our breath to our movement
We're going to take a couple of cat-cow. So come onto your knees, tabletop pose. Tuck your toes onto your mat. Drop your belly, lift your tail up, lift your gaze, breathe in. And as you exhale, slowly tuck your tail, tuck your chin, round your spine, let it out. And then repeat, slow down your movement. Lift your tail, drop your belly, lift your gaze, breathe in. Exhale, tuck your tail, arch your spine, push into your mat with your hands. As you exhale, one more time, lift your tail, move slowly, feel your spine move. Exhale, move slowly, there's no rush. And then find neutral spine here. Bring your back to a neutral position. We're going to start to bring awareness to our shoulders. Breathe into your right side body. Stretch your right arm up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, weave that arm underneath you. Land onto your shoulder. And the back of your hand faces the earth. I'll turn sideways on my mat so you can see from that perspective. You have an option to cactus your arm and TP your fingertips to really anchor through and lift up through that left shoulder. And be aware of your pelvis. Keep it neutral to the earth. One more breath here. Close your eyes. Let it go. And then come back through center and we'll swap sides. Sweep your arm up, breathe and reach up. Weave underneath you, land your left shoulder down, left hand creates a connection with the earth. Cactus your arms, TP your fingertips and breathe here. Deep breath. And close your eyes for 2 more breaths. Slow it down. And last breath here. Let it go. Bring yourself up to a tabletop position. We're going to start to activate our core, one of our other pillars of yoga. So your Uddiyana Bandha in Sanskrit is what we call it. Lift your knees up off the mat by pressing into your hands and into your toes. Now hold here and hover. Breathe here. And just start to tap into your strength. Push your hands into the mat. Breathe a little out, 2 more. Now stay, your mind's going to want to leave. Stay for 1 more breath, breathe in. Lower your knees down, untuck your toes and take some big hip circles around. And bring your awareness back to that breath. That Ujjayi breath. This stays with us through our whole practice. And it really is a tool that we use to stay present. And we breathe louder than our thoughts. And tuck your toes and push yourself to downward facing dog this time. And you can pedal out your dog, which means we alternate bending knees. Press your hands into the mat. And lift your tail up. Yeah, bend your knees generously here. And it's not so much about connecting your heels to the earth as it is about lengthening through your spine. Spread your fingers wide. Yeah, press that L shape of your hands into your mat. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Let your head hang. Maybe roll it around. This time, let's sync our breath to movement. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Step halfway up your mat. And bring your feet hips distance apart. A good judge is to take 2 fists and bring them in between your big toes, and then let your torso hang over your thighs. I keep a generous bend in my knees. Really hinge here and drop everything above your pelvis. Let it hang towards the earth. Clasp your elbows with your hands. Maybe sway side to side. This is really about decompressing through your spine and neck, and letting your head get heavy for a moment. And this may be the first time you find yourself upside down in your day, so close your eyes and feel. Bring your awareness to your feet. Lift your toes up. Let them gently rest back down. I'm going to take this to an extended mountain. So slowly rise up and lift up. Reach your arms far overhead. Take a big breath in. And then fold through center. Halfway lifts, and we're going to pause here. Just speak a little bit about halfway lift. So bring your palms to your shins and bend your knees generously. The objective of a halfway lift is to create length through your spine. So engage your core, your Uddiyana Bandha. Stretch your crown out in front of you. Pull your shoulder blades together. This will create length through your collarbones. Spread your fingers apart, jazz hands. And take a big breath in, stretch your spine. And then soften everything. Bend your knees and fold your torso over your thighs. Your ribs may connect with your quads. We're going to inhale and take this to an extended mountain again. Breathe and reach up. Straighten out your legs. Reach up high. And then fold through center again. Walk your hands out to the top of your mat and hold a high plank pose. Fingers spread wide, pressing into that L shape. You can always drop your knees to the mat. We're going to lower down to a hover. Bend at your elbows. Yeah, you can untuck your toes here and then push the earth away. Find upward facing dog. And pause here for a moment. Upward facing dog is a lot easier when you pull your heart past your biceps. So see if you can make that adjustment. Press into your hands. Again, you can lower your knees to the mat, or you can press into the tops of your feet and lift them up. Breathe in. Untuck your toes, push back to downward facing dog, keeping that pressure in your fingertips and your palms of your hands. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees. Now bring your gaze between your thumbs and take a step forward to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Straight spine here, shoulder blades together. Broad through your collarbones. Exhale and melt all the way over your thighs. Create length through your spine. Lift all the way up. Reach up. Lift your toes up this time. And then fold through center. Hands come through your heart and soften towards the earth. Let your head hang for a moment. Halfway lift. Fill up your lungs. We're going to Chaturanga Dandasana, which means we step our feet back, shift forward, bend your elbows, lower down. You can always drop your knees. Fill up for your up dog, heart through biceps. Untuck your toes, go back, down dog. And there's really no wrong way to do yoga. Child's pose is always there for you. So you can always drop to your knees, bring your knees wide, and melt onto your mat. Yoga is really about syncing your breath and your body, your movement, and about being present in the moment. So as long as you are doing those things in synchronicity, you are achieving the practice of yoga. And we're gonna move on to some warriors. So find your down dog. Push your hands into the mat. Now extend your right heel up to the sky. And then bring your right foot forward. Yeah, and step wide on your mat here. So almost to the edge of your mat. And then reach your arms up. Bend your front knee generously, front knee over top of your front ankle. Bring your awareness to that back foot. Root through the pinky side edge. Lift your back arch and then lift your fingertips up. Sink your pelvis down. Now engage your core and engage your breath. Ujjayi, breathe in. Stay. One more breath here. We're going to bring our hands down to our mat and flow. Step your feet back and always drop your knees. Chaturanga Dandasana, so high to low. Fill up for up dog. Go back for down dog. Left heel up to the sky. Now, while your foot is up here, see if you can point your toes towards the earth. So spiral your pinky side of your foot towards the earth. Instead of splaying it out, turn it towards the earth. Take a big breath in. Bring your left foot forward for warrior one, left side. And then sink down low here. Yeah. Bring that awareness to your back, pinky side edge of your back foot. And then lift up. We're wide on our mat here to create stability. And take a couple of deep breaths in through your nose, out through the back of your throat. Soften your shoulders. In through your nose, spark up your fingers. And then take it to your mat, high to low. Hands come to your mat, feet step back. Engage your core here to shift forward. And then lower down, 90-degree bend in your elbows. Up dog, take a breath in. Press into your hands here and go back for down dog. Whew. We're going to take this to some lengthening poses. We're going to start to bring awareness to the back of our thighs and take on some stretching, lengthening, flexible poses next. So let's find down dog. Extend your right heel up to the sky. And flex your toes to the earth. Take a big breath in. Bring your right foot forward for warrior one once again. And breathe and reach up. Spiral open to warrior two. So your front foot's going to walk over in front of you. Your front heel's in line with your back arch. Now sink deep. Spread your fingers apart. Jazz hands. Palms face the earth. Yeah. Bring your gaze over top of your right middle finger. We're going to exalt this warrior. Flip your front palm. Inhale, go back. And then we're going to take Trikonasana pose. This is when your pillows can come in handy. You can bring them behind your front ankle. Land your right hand down and open up here. Expand your left arm towards the sky. And spread your fingers apart. See if you can pull that right arm behind you. Yeah, stack pelvis over top of pelvis, shoulder over top of shoulder. Breathe in. Let it in. And take this to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale your way back up and point your toes in the same direction. And breathe in, stretch your arms up. And then we're going to hinge at our hips. Again, this is a great opportunity to use blocks or pillows as props. Angle your toes in towards one another. We'll create more access, more space in between your legs. And then soften down with your torso. You can drop your head here. And breathe. We're targeting the entire backside of our legs for this. Wide-legged forward fold. And keep a bit of water, a bit of give in your knees for this. Breathe. See if you can close your eyes for 2 more breaths. Breathe and soften something. And do that again. This time, take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. And then ride your next inhale to a lifted torso. Walk your feet slightly into one another. Step your right foot forward and your left foot back. We're going to take this to pyramid pose. Hips facing forward. Breathe and stretch out. And then hinge forward. Again, a great opportunity to use props in front of you to bring the earth up to you. Targeting the back of your right thigh. My legs are wide like train tracks to keep my pelvis neutral to the top of my mat. And then soften through your head here. You can even clasp your elbows and sway. And soften and feel that stretch all the way up the back of your leg. And now close your eyes and take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. The last one. Move your blocks out of your way. Halfway lift your spine. And let's flow. Step your feet back. Find that high plank. Engage your core for a moment. Shift forward on your tiptoes. Lower down, elbows in by your ribs. And then push the earth away. Find up dog. Push yourself back for down dog. So I'm going to go left side, warrior one, left foot steps forward, roots through your back, right pinky side edge. And inhale, lift yourself up. Sink here. Spiral open to warrior two, front foot moves over, front heel in line with back arch, and stretch yourself open. Flip your front palm, inhale, go back. Straighten out your front knee and find Trikonasana pose on your left side. Left foot stays forward. Keep a bit of water in that left knee. Use your props. And then hinge yourself open. Right arm is drawing back, hands wide. Breathe here. See if you can create a stretch through your side body. A bit of a give in that front knee. And starting to waken up the back side of that left thigh. One more breath. Soften, melt what you can. Roots through your feet. Inhale, lift yourself up. Let's take wide-legged forward fold. This time you have an option to bind your hands behind you. So you can clasp your fists together. Big breath in. And then hinge forward. And your head may meet your mat, or you can bring your props back in. Soften here. Lift your fists up if they are connected. Release your fists. Walk your hands for a moment to your right ankle. Breathe here. Then walk them back through center to your left ankle. Breathe into that side. And then lift yourself up through center. Walk your feet slightly in towards one another. Front toes face 12 o'clock. Back foot steps halfway up. We're going to take pyramid pose, left side. Inhale yourself halfway up. And then soften onto your props. And let your head hang. And let your tongue relax This moment of yoga, this practice is really a selfish practice. It's about bringing your awareness back to yourself, to your body, and how you genuinely are feeling. So give yourself that space, that respect, that time. Use your breath to create that clearing. Our minds are so busy with what's coming up and what happened in the past. Yoga is really the practice of being right here, right now. We're going to take this to a flow. So halfway lift again. Inhale. Hands to your mat, feet step back. Shift your weight forward. Hug your elbows in tight. Untuck your toes. Fill up your lungs. For up dog, down dog, we push back. And we're going to start some more restorative poses. So extend your right heel up to the sky. We're going to take half pigeon on our right side. Right foot comes all the way forward. You're going to bring it up by your left hand, and then you're going to walk your left knee back behind you. Flex your right toes back towards your kneecaps. And check in, your knee is wider than your hip. And again, you can use props here. You can bring your pillows or your block, and you can soften down here. This is a really deep hip opener. See if you can soften into this and close your eyes. Bring your awareness back to that breath. And that ujjayi in through your nose. Out through the back of your throat. And 2 more breaths. Last one. Let it go. Bring your hands to the mat. Remove props. We're going to switch sides. So there's 2 ways to do this. You can go through downward dog and then pivot your left leg out in front of you, or you can just take a little cheat and bring your left leg out in front of you and pivot your right leg out behind you. Again, awareness to your left toes. Flex them back as opposed to letting them go lax and pointed. Flex them back. See if you can work your shin out further in front of you to the direction of parallel to the top of your mat. You turn sideways so you can see from this angle. Another fun little trick is to root through your back toes and kind of play with that feeling. Deepens that stretch. And when you feel comfortable, like you found that juicy spot, see if you can soften forward. Again, you can use pillows or blocks underneath your chest, or you can choose to remove all of those and lower all the way down. The deep breaths here. 2 more. And the last one. Bring yourself back up. Pivot your left leg out in front of you. We're going to get down onto our backs. So use your props, pillows, or blocks. So we're going to take this right into waterfall. So lay yourself down. Move your block or your pillow to the small of your back and extend your legs up to the sky. So our objective here is to allow the blood to flow back to our organs, replenishing, refueling, starting to slow things down. You can add your arms. This is called bear pose. And play with your toes for a moment. Flex them back. Then point them. Flex them back. Sync your breath, become aware of it. Can you hear it? Point them. And then find somewhere in the middle. And allow the moment just to be. So close your eyes. Spread your fingers apart. And see if you can root through your shoulders. Let them get heavy. Let your pelvis get heavy. Maybe let your eyelids get heavy. Your tongue. Move it from the top of your mouth. Soften here. A few more breaths. Two more. Keep the audible breath in through your nose. Out through the back of your throat, lips sealed. The last one, inhale, fill it all the way and hold. Exhale, back of your throat. Lower your feet back down to your mat. Remove your props. And take happy baby pose. So clasp the pinky side edge of your feet. Hug your knees in towards your armpits. You can rock side to side. You can turn this into a half straddle by straightening out one knee, alternating knees. Or both knees. Be mindful of your knee joints, though not to lock them out, even when straightening. One more breath. Hug your knees into your chest. Give each knee a kiss of love and gratitude. And then set up for your final Shavasana. So bring your legs a little bit wider than mat. Pull your shoulder blades together on your spine. Bring your hands just a little bit away from your hips. Now let your shoulders get heavy again. And close your eyes. And Shavasana is known as the most difficult pose of all. It's known as corpse pose. And it's the practice of surrendering. So let your breath return to normal. Close your eyes if you haven't done that yet. And then just listen to my voice. See if you can start with your heels. Do you feel that connection to your mat? That seam between your heels and the earth? Let it get heavy. And let that heaviness travel up to your calves. Let those muscles relax. And then your thighs. Let everything soften and just give up for a moment. Let your hips get heavy. See if you can gently feel that rise and fall of your belly in your chest. Let your shoulders sink into the mat. Your arms and your palms sink a bit closer. Take up more surface area. See if you can soften through your jaw. And that space between your eyebrows. Yeah, see if you can let that go. See if you can keep your awareness in your body, your physical space, that connection with your mat and your breath. And take two more breaths.
just being right here. There's nothing else to think about except that rhythmic flow of your breathing. And last breath. And then roll yourself onto one side. So cradle your head with your forearm and tuck your knees up. We're going to take a cleansing breath here. So fill up your lungs. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And let it out through your mouth. Make your way to a seated position at the top of your mat, legs crossed. Hands can come to your knees. Keep your eyes closed. Grow your crown towards the sky. The sits bones root to the earth. Fill up. Let it go. Bring your hands to heart center. We'll close this practice with one Om. I love sharing the story of Om with new yogis. The sound, the audible tone represents our unity. Whatever you believe in, it is symbolizing the connection of us to one another. No life is independent of another. And we show up on our mat for ourselves and to support one another. And so we'll close this practice with one Om. Fill it. Thumbs come to your forehead. You bow to say namaste. And go in peace. I hope you made it to the end of this video, and I hope you're feeling a little bit more connected to yourself. Join me again for Soaring Sundays. I look forward to seeing you. Take care.